LaTeX is a document preparation system and document markup language. It is widely used for the communication and publication of scientific documents in many fields, including mathematics, physics, computer science, economics, and political science. It also has a prominent role in the preparation and publication of books and articles that contain complex multilingual materials, such as Sanskrit and Arabic, including critical editions. LaTeX uses the TeX typesetting program for formatting its output, and is itself written in the TeX macro language. LaTeX is not the name of a particular editing program, but refers to the encoding or tagging conventions that are used in LaTeX documents. LaTeX is widely used in academia. Its syntax is also used as the primary method of displaying formulas on Wikipedia. LaTeX can be used as a standalone document preparation system, or as an intermediate format. In the latter role, for example, it is often used as part of a pipeline for translating DocBook and other XML-based formats to PDF. The Typesetting System offers programmable desktop publishing features and extensive facilities for automating most aspects of typesetting and desktop publishing, including numbering and cross-referencing of tables and figures, chapter and section headings, the inclusion of graphics, page layout, indexing and bibliographies. Like TeX, LaTeX started as a writing tool for mathematicians and computer scientists, but from early in its development it has also been taken up by scholars who needed to write documents that included complex non-Latin scripts, such as Arabic, Sanskrit and Chinese. LaTeX is intended to provide a high-level language that accesses the power of TeX. LaTeX comprises a collection of TeX macros and a program to process LaTeX documents. Because the plain TeX formatting commands are elementary, it offers authors ready-made commands for common requirements such as chapter headings, footnotes, cross-references and bibliographies. LaTeX was originally written in the early 1980s by Leslie Lamport at SRI International. The current version is LaTeX 2e. LaTeX is free software and is distributed under the LaTeX Project Public License. Typesetting System, LaTeX follows the design philosophy of separating presentation from content, so that authors can focus on the content of what they are writing without attending simultaneously to its visual appearance. In preparing a LaTeX document, the author specifies the logical structure using simple, familiar concepts such as chapter, section, table, figure, etc., and lets the LaTeX system worry about the formatting and layout of these structures. It therefore encourages the separation of layout from content while still allowing manual typesetting adjustments where needed. This concept is similar to the mechanism by which many word processors allow styles to be defined globally for an entire document or the use of cascading style sheets to style HTML. The LaTeX system is a markup language that also handles typesetting and rendering. LaTeX can be arbitrarily extended by using the underlying macro language to develop custom formats. Such macros are often collected into packages, which are available to address special formatting issues such as complicated mathematical content or graphics. Indeed, in the example below, the align environment is provided by the AmpsMath package. In order to create a document in LaTeX, you first write a file, say for ~text, using your preferred text editor. Then you give your ~text file as input to the TeX program, and TeX writes out a file suitable for viewing on screen or printing. This write format previous cycle is one of the chief ways in which working with LaTeX differs from what you see is what you get word processing. It is similar to the code compile execute cycle familiar to computer programmers. Today, many LaTeX-aware editing programs make this cycle a simple matter of pressing a single key, while showing the output preview on the screen beside the input window. Examples: the example below shows the LaTeX input and corresponding output. Note how the equation for was typeset by the markup, e and equals \frac mc2 \sqrt1 \frac v2c2, the square root is denoted by sqrt, and fractions by frac. Pronouncing and writing LaTeX. LaTeX is usually pronounced or in English. The characters T, E, X in the name come from capital Greek letters tau, epsilon, and chi, as the name of text derives from the Greek, II 1/2 I. For this reason, TeX's creator Donald Knuth promotes a pronunciation of Lamport, on the other hand, has said he does not favor or discourage any pronunciation for LaTeX. The name is traditionally printed in running text with a special typographical logo, LaTeX. In media where the logo cannot be precisely reproduced in running text, the word is typically given the unique capitalization LaTeX. The TeX, LaTeX and ʻleɪtɛk logos can be rendered via pure CSS and XHTML for use in graphical web browsers following the specifications of the internal \latex macro. Licensing: LaTeX is typically distributed along with plain text. It is distributed under a free software license, the LaTeX Project Public License. The LPPL is not compatible with the GNU General Public License, as it requires that modified files must be clearly differentiable from their originals. This was done to ensure that files that depend on other files will produce the expected behavior and avoid dependency hell. The LPPL is DFSG compliant as of version 1.3. As free software, LaTeX is available on most operating systems including Unix, BSD, GNU Linux, Microsoft Windows, DOS, RISC OS, Amiga OS and Plan 9. Related software: as a macro package, LaTeX provides a set of macros for text to interpret. There are many other macro packages for text, including TCTEX, plaintext, GNU TextInfo, AmpsTex, and Context. When text compiles a document, it follows the following processing sequence: macros are text, a driver and output. Different implementations of each of these steps are typically available in text distributions. Traditional text will output a DVI file, which is usually converted to a PostScript file. More recently, HNTH and others have written a new implementation of text called PDF-TEX, which also outputs to PDF and takes advantage of features available in that format. The ʻleɪtɛk engine developed by Jonathan Q merges modern font technologies and Unicode with TeX. The default font for LaTeX is Knuth's Computer Modern, which gives default documents created with LaTeX the same distinctive look as those created with plain text. ʻleɪtɛk allows the use of OpenType and TrueType fonts for output files. There are also many editors for LaTeX. Versions: LaTeX 2e is the current version of LaTeX, since it replaced LaTeX 2.09 in 1994. As of 2014, a future version called LaTeX 3, started in the early 1990s, is still in development. Planned features include improved syntax, hyperlink support, a new user interface, access to arbitrary fonts, and new documentation. There are numerous commercial implementations of the entire text system. System vendors may add extra features like additional typefaces and telephone support. LaTeX is a free, wiser and visual document processor that uses LaTeX for a back-end. TextMax is a free, WYSIWYG editor with similar functionalities as LaTeX but a different typesetting engine. Other WYSIWYG editors that produce LaTeX include Scientific Word on MIS Windows. A number of community-supported text distributions are available, including TextLive, TETEX, FPTEX, MeekTeX, ProText, MacTeX, GWTEX, OzTeX, AmigaTeX and PowerTeX. Compatibility: LaTeX documents can be opened with any text editor. They consist of plain text and do not contain hidden formatting codes or binary instructions. Additionally, text documents can be shared by rendering the LaTeX file to rich text format or XML. This can be done using the free software programs LaTeX 2RTF or TeX 4HT. LaTeX can also be rendered to PDF files using the LaTeX extension PDF-ḻa-tek. LaTeX files containing Unicode text can be processed into PDFs by the LaTeX extension XML-ḻa-tek. See also: AMS LaTeX, a Euro-American Mathematical Society extension for LaTeX, XDVI, a Euro software for viewing DVI files while using Unix, BibTeX reference management software typically used with LaTeX, comparison of text editors, list of document markup languages, RevTeX Euro publication styles of the American Physical Society, formula editor, MathML, references. Further reading. External links, official website, LaTeX Wiki, CTAN Euro The Comprehensive Text Archive Network, the TeX Users Group, TeX and LaTeX Questions and Answers at Stack Exchange, LaTeX 3 Newsletter, LaTeX Templates, Ubuntu GNU Linux documentation about LaTeX, pleasantly clear.